Good morning on a weird thing that's happening today because it's Saturday, but poof, here I am, and I am celebrating, if you can't tell. Woohoo! It's the 2-year anniversary party for the Morning Night Live. And I don't have an agenda for today. I have some articles we could go through. I can, if you want, I can open up the lines and we can talk to people. I just wanted to make sure I got my 515th show open today since I missed Monday, and just celebrate the 2 years. So a lot of it can be just stuff you're talking about in the chat, or whatever happens. There's no real agenda today. Like I said, I have a few things I can talk about because there's never a lack of things to talk about. We can also go through some of the things that are happening on Twitter that are making me just go nuts. But we'll figure it out after the intro. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It is the 23rd of January 2021, Saturday, a rare Saturday appearance of the Morning Night Live, an official Morning Night Live show. And today it's kind of just a little bit of a celebration for me. I'm celebrating 2 years of doing this show. Now, fascinating, when I first started doing this show, I really didn't know where it was going to go. I knew that I wanted to do a weekday morning show because most of the people that I watched, streamed in the evening or in the afternoon. I thought, there's kind of an opening at 9 o'clock my time in the morning. Also, it kind of fit my schedule because I usually get home from work around 7:30 or 8 in the morning, and it gave me some time to set up and do the thing. And I just, the original show I did in my dining room, and I don't know if Johnny Hellcat remembers, and there's a few other people who remember. Oh, thank you. Oh, our first donation of the day. Did I even reset the donations? I probably didn't, but Mike, Chicago Mike, just let you know that
you are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
And thank you so much for the generous 10 spot on Streamlabs. And that would be, who says, it's been 2 years. Congrats, Marty. Well, thank you so much, Mike. And a lot of people are congratulating me in the chat. We'll get to that too. But I really, really appreciate it. Oh, somebody won Mega Millions last night. Oh my goodness. Well, it wasn't me because I didn't buy a ticket. I bought a couple tickets in the last few weeks, but I just haven't gotten out to do that. But anyway, yeah. So when I started this, it was kind of on a whim. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I just kind of, I knew I'd talk about news stories because that's kind of like my thing. And I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about politics, a little bit about social issues, things like that. And it's funny. If you're ever thinking of doing something like this, sometimes you just gotta do it. And so what I did is I made a commitment to learn how to use this OBS stuff, which I still have quirks here and there, but and I've tried to figure out how to make the show look a little more interesting, changing some of the windows around. And if you've been watching from the beginning, you've seen it evolve. I've even this little set that I have here with the little fake computer screen and the phone over there, and just trying to make things look interesting and make it fun. And I think for the most part, it's worked out. And I feel like I've gotten so much better at this and so much more comfortable doing this just from doing it. So if you're thinking of doing something like this, and just sometimes you just gotta, 1, make a plan to do it. 2, find a way to make it consistent, whether you do it 5 days a week like I do, or you do it once a week, or, you know, maybe every other day. Whatever you do, you just got to do it over and over and over until it gets better. I went back and watched my first Morning Night Live, and I kind of laughed because while it wasn't completely terrible, it was kind of bad, but it was fun. It was nice to have Johnny Hellcat and Hate Camel in the chat, so I could bounce a couple things off them here and there. And you know, it just takes time. Let me thank you for another donation. Thank you, your boy Pat, my man Pat, with the another 10 spot, who says happy 2-year anniversary. Here's to many more. By the way, Pat, you will check your DMs here in a second. Pat's one of the people. When I first started on YouTube, now I was not consistent on YouTube when I first started. I just made a video here and there, but Pat was one of the first people that I found on YouTube, and one of the just because he was one of those interesting people that I said, you know what, makes me want to keep doing this, and so I really appreciate you, Pat. And in fact, where the hell's my? Hang on a second here. Let me do something real quick. Give me one moment. Wow, what the heck? I'm having trouble here. Well, I'll figure it out in a second. Pat, I'm trying to send you a link, Pat, but I'm having boomer problems here. Anyway, I'll figure that out. Where are you not on Twitter anymore? Hang on a second. I know you're on Twitter still. Your boy, Pat. Okay, maybe you changed your handle. Now I'm embarrassed. Oh, there you are. Oh, I see what happened. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, Pat, I just sent you a link. Or I'm sending you a link if you want to jump on. So anyway, now it's 2 years later. I'm comfortable with this, and I have fun with it, and I don't know what I would do in the mornings if it weren't for the Morning Night Live. And so many of you come back over and over and enjoy the show, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you who watch, sometimes some on the daily, some when you can pop in and out. It's great. It's a lot of fun, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all. But right now, let me appreciate those of you who are here this morning, because I do my thing. I say good morning to everybody. Hopefully I'll be able to do this continually, even as the show grows. But right now, it's still something that's easy to do, and I'm glad to do it because I appreciate all of you pop in. So let's talk about who's in the chat today. First in the chat today was our friend from down under, Richo, who gets the bell. Good morning, sir. And Richo it's funny because this is not the morning for Richo. Richo lives in Straya, I think. Straya? You live in Straya? I think so. And he's on a completely different time schedule. It's like, what? Isn't it like 1 in the morning or something? Or I don't know. It's some weird time that's not morning for oh no, it's not 1 in the morning. That was when I was on at night. Anyway, it's a weird time for Richo. And it's not morning, and actually it's a day earlier or day later. Wait, he's on the 24th. It's January 24th for Richo. So I appreciate you coming back. Also, good morning, Chadwick Dupree. Chadwick is also one of the early watchers of the show. And I'm not even sure how you found me, Chadwick Dupree, but I do appreciate that you coming back, and it's nice to see you back fairly regularly again. Good morning also to Zach Osborne. RVA Dar, Mike Savage, Blarg, who retracted the Blarg, or maybe not. Anyway, James PFP, my friend from Newfoundland, one of our many Canadian watchers. Good morning also to Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, good morning to Cultist4. How you doing? And thank you for the congratulations. Good morning also Cindy Rochelle, our roaming friend who's putting down roots in the panhandle of Florida. Also, good morning to, and Hig, good morning if you're in the background. I'm sure you're there somewhere. Also, good morning to People's Front of Canada. Hail P-Dawg and Shad. I'm a listen as I laid down since I haven't been to bed yet. Congrats on the 2-year. Thank you very much. Also, Molly Mags, how you doing? Happy Saturday. Good morning, Sean DW. Also, one of our early watchers who says also good morning to our fellow degenerates. Good morning to Chicago Mike again. Thank you again for the generous donation this morning. Also, good morning, Becca Farley, who is one of the, when Becca can get here, she is one of our prolific tweeters of the show. I appreciate all of you who do that. It always helps to have that notification go out from other people because it says, oh, hey, I watched this. Maybe you should check it out too. And that's how we've grown the show mostly. It's funny because it's weird. I've been in YouTube, I think coming up on 4 years. My 4-year anniversary's come up just as YouTube in general. Or maybe it's fifth year anniversary for YouTube. Comes up in like June or July. I'll have to look that up because I probably should set up a show for that. And I haven't grown and that much. And in fact, for the first 3 years, hardly at all. I mean, I literally, because I wasn't consistent putting out videos. I put them out, but put them out here and there. And I've had a couple videos that have gotten fairly viral, 5, 6, 7,000 viewers. But, for whatever reason, it wasn't consistent. The channel didn't grow. And ever since I've done this show, I've probably averaged 40 to 50 people a month at that pace, just a steady 40 to 50 people a month until I got up to 1,000 viewers and actually monetized the channel. And then all of a sudden, it kind of stopped and it went backwards a little bit and then it goes forward a little bit. But part of the reason it's grown is because so many of you have just shared the show. I mean, it's share it with other people, say, hey, go check this guy out. It's a pretty good show if you like it, whatever, subscribe. And so that's how I've grown the show. I haven't had that big viral moment where all of a sudden like 100,000 people go, oh, boof, I got to watch. But you know what? I kind of like it this way. It keeps it intimate, keeps it where I get to know people in the chat and I get to see names that I've seen over and over. And I kind of like it. I mean, and if it ever does have some boom hit for some reason, I just want to let you know that those of you who've been with me these first couple of years are the people that I remember and the people that I am really glad to see. I'll be glad to see new people every day, but y'all are the ones that make the show fun. So anyway, let me keep going here. Good morning, Legit Low Tarker. How you doing? Also, let's see. I got Cindy here, but Pat, I think, I said hi. I've talked to Pat already this morning. I see Pat's in the queue too. So I'll get to you in a second here, Pat. Don't worry. Also, let's see. Jonathan Peterson, how you doing? Let's see. Who's new down here? Ex-Bubba Hotep, how you doing? Good to see you. I said Zach Osborne. But also, Zach, thanks for tweeting out the show. I appreciate that. I know you did that too. Good morning to Big Assassin 80. What's happening? And am I getting down here? Gilded Liberty, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Gitmo Holiday. Gitmo Holiday. How you doing? I've seen that name before. I just can't remember when. Scotty Dubs, what's happening? You don't understand why there isn't. I don't understand why this isn't a more popular stream, to be honest. Well, I don't know. Part of it is I only do this during this time of the day, and not a lot of people watch YouTube as much in the morning, I guess, or at least, well, I suppose morning for us. I guess I get a lot of people in the East Coast or East Coast Canada or obviously a few Australians. Oh, John Smith, John Arnott. I did not mean to miss you there. The chat jump, hate camels here. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people I missed here. I'm sorry. Grizzilla, how you doing? Jesse Leon, Gamer Valine, Zombie Teddy. Holy smokes, I'm sorry. I didn't miss this many people. Gunfox61, RVA Dar, good morning. I'm so sorry. I must have scrolled too fast and it popped down. And thank you. Thank thank you, Grizz, for the generous donation on Streamlabs, who says, congrats on 2 years. Really enjoying the show. I look forward to listening to it after work. The intro is very relaxing. Never change it. LOL. Here's more years to go. Well, okay. Do you mean the intro that the standby intro? Because I'm about to change it. I'm sorry. I have new footage, so every time I get new footage, about every 3 to 4 months, I change it, or I change it based on the season. And the footage that I have right now for my standby is footage I took off the internet rather than my own, and I just took a bunch while I was out in the mountains. So I'll probably keep that style of music, but it will be new footage every now and then I'll have a new one in spring also. But thank you very much for the donation through Streamlabs. By the way, if you want to donate to the show, that's fantastic. You don't have to because it's a free show, but I do appreciate it. It helps me keep going. And you can do that through Streamlabs in the description down below, or it pops up in the chat. You can do YouTube Super Chats, and we also have Venmo and Cashapp links in the description down below. Personally, I like Streamlabs because I don't like you to give your money to YouTube because I don't know that they're out here promoting me. Whereas Streamlabs, you can use PayPal or a direct credit card link, and then your donation actually goes to the person you're donating to. So but I go backwards. All right, I'm going to pull Pat into the stream. Like, I have a few people that I invited, and Pat was one of them. As soon as I can make sure I can get Pat on the screen here real quick. All right. Good morning, my man, your boy Pat. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's going on? I'm doing good. Happy 2-year anniversary.
Well, thank you so much, man. You were one of the YouTubers that I followed as soon as I found you on YouTube, and I always enjoyed your stuff, and I just appreciate you being here and becoming a friend through the internets. So,
even though sometimes I can tend to babble a little bit, and I have a little bit of the potty mouth. So.
Well, you know what? I've never been one to hold back on let's just say colorful language now and then. It's a challenge because you think, try not to do it in the first 20 minutes of your show just so you don't get one of those yellow marks. But yeah, it's all right, man. So Pat, let me ask you something. What's going on in your life right now as far as YouTube or the news, or what are some things that you are on your mind right now that dominate your moments?
Well, right now at this point, I'm getting ready for next month on my new channel, my Psycho Rick and Dwayne one. I'm doing a series called the 28 Days of Black History, where I'm basically going to be going through a lot of the things that basically happened over the years, talking about a lot of people and a lot of events, and part of of celebration of Black History Month.
Okay.
And I'm doing it in a way to where it'll show us like everything that we've overcome and all the accomplishments. It ain't just like how how some people do it. They basically use Black History Month as a way to virtue signal and all that right there. I'm trying to different that up by showing the accomplishments of black people, plus like things that we've overcome in the days.
Sure. So not oppression porn.
No.
Because that's the one thing, at least lately, it seems like anything you talk about race issues with us black people, it's always about oppression porn. It's always about, who's holding us down and shit. And I'm like, you know what? There's so much more that if you showed achievement, like I think that's what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. If you show achievement instead of being oppressed, wouldn't more kids be interested in achievement?
That would be a problem, though.
Well, it doesn't bring in the money.
Yeah, because the main ones who are basically doing the whole you poor black person are the successful black people.
Right. No, I know, and it's but without even seeing how they have succeeded. Mm-hmm. Right? So it drives me nuts.
That's what it is. It's a lot of them, they've reached that level of succession, and they're being treated so special. So if they, try to inspire other black people to reach that whole entire thing, then they're not seen as so special. And some of them don't want that.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I my background with my family was never what's holding you back, but how are you holding yourself back? You know. So, real quick, good morning, Advocatus Diablo, who's joined the chat this morning. How you doing, my friend? And anyone else new come in that I missed? I don't think so. All right, we're good. I'm good on that. So, by the way, if you're not familiar with Pat's you have what, 3 channels now?
Well, let's see. Well, I guess you could say
because
that.
you have your streaming channel, and then your original channel, and then the Psycho Rick channel, which is really cool. Pat is a great storyteller. I love some of the stories that you tell on Psycho. And some of them are, most of them are like, what's the genre called?
It's supposed to be true crime.
True crime, yeah.
It's supposed like a mix of true crime mixed with like mixed with creepypastas and of course like memorials.
Yeah, no, and you have such a great voice and cadence for that kind of stuff. I mean, it's really fun to listen to. So especially check out. It's called Psycho Rick. You can search, or better yet, Pat, you have a wrench, don't you?
I think yeah.
Put a link to Psycho Rick in the chat. I think you'll really enjoy the stories on the Psycho Rick channel, especially. And then Pat also does some live streams, and Pat has been doing videos. You started about 2015 or 16, didn't you? And when did you start on YouTube?
2016.
Yeah, because for some reason I was finding when I first started like as a YouTuber, like I actually started putting stuff on my channel. For whatever reason, I sought out a lot of different people who. I was just seeking out minorities who had some conservative positions, or it was so I found you, I found Satsu, I found more anti. I should say a lot of went back in the anti SJW genre. So like some black guy. Who's the guy who does the wrestling stuff? I can't remember who's his name, but even like Tyler. Tyler. There was a whole bunch that did that. Good morning, Thomas Cleaver. I see you, my friend. I don't. And also Jaeger Pony. Mikey. But so I mean, not just black SJW channels, but I always seem to. For me, it was like I was finding kindred spirits. So okay, so now. I know you. Current events. Tell me one current event thing that that pops up to mind regarding what's going on in the world that has caught your eye late in the last couple of days.
Whew, man, what has the whole changing of the presidential guard right there. That's been the biggest thing so far.
Yep.
And oh my God, and this how people are like
real quick. You'll hear my Streamlab and Super Chat alerts is music. So
yeah, I heard the music right there. I'm like, good.
Yep, it is. Thank you, Gunfox61 through Streamlabs. It says breaking news: Larry King has passed away. AP reporting. Yeah, I wrote a tweet this morning about that. Let me see if I can find that. Here's my thoughts on Larry King, just short and sweet. As soon as it pops up, now my computer's running a little slow because I got too many things open here. I just said, rest in peace, Larry. rest in peace, Larry King. A strange little dude who could talk to anybody and did talk to everybody because the man did over 50,000 interviews in his career. I mean, which is just, I can't even fathom. I mean, 1,000 interviews in a year for 50 years. And if you put it that way, I just can't even imagine how many people this man has talked to. And he really has talked to everybody from the Dalai Lama to kings to every sports, famous sports figure you could ever think of. And he talked to everybody. Amazing dude. So thank you, Gunfox61, for the donation. Also, X-Bubba Hotep with the $5 through Streamlabs, who says, a respectful F in the chat for Larry King. I agree. Throw an F in the chat for the passing of Larry King. And you know what? Even if you didn't like his interview style or you didn't care for, the one thing Larry King you never really knew about, you never really could tell what Larry King's politics were, because he just talked, asked questions, and let people talk, and he didn't spend his time trying to contradict them. He just wanted to hear what they had to say and would ask questions. And
that's pretty much lost these days.
Oh, it totally is. So many interviewers either want to argue with you, or they want to, well, as I don't know if you heard my phrase from yesterday. I don't even know how to say it again. They want to tongue bath your taint, they just want to fawn over you, or they want to argue with you. And Larry King did neither. He didn't fawn over people. He didn't argue with them. He just asked questions and let them talk. And that's, whether you like that or not, I think it's a great quality, and God rest his soul, man. Also, thank you, James Colley, the $5 through YouTube Super Chat, who says, 2 years, question mark. Congrats. I think, yeah. Hi, I'm going to go back to lurking. Well, James Colley, thank you for taking the time out from lurking to drop a couple bucks in the tip jar. I greatly appreciate it, so thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here, Pat, I'm just going to keep you on if that's okay, if you want to hang out, and I'm going to go through some articles real quick, and we can laugh about them a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
So in the, here, I'm going to share them with you, too. I got to do... See, when you do the StreamYards, I have tried to share with you, but also trying to, so you can see what I'm doing here. So let me see if I can share this screen. Okay, it's not giving me that option. Oh, it's taking a while because I have so many windows open. Okay, there's the screen I'm sharing with you because that's the article I'm doing. Did that work? No. Yes, there we go. And then I got to put it on, the way I do it on my show is through this link. Oh, everything's going slow. So anyway, oh, what the hell's that on my screen? Damn.
Oh.
Get off of there, Flo.
Yeah, it almost popped open, but then it went back.
Oh, did it? All right. Well, I'm going to skip the share screen because,
all right,
because it's probably causing too. I have two monitors, and I have. Okay, hang on a second here. All right, let's close this. Well, while we're at it, let me do the super chat. Yeah, Chicago Mike with the Streamlabs super chat, or excuse me, Rod Line with a $1.99 who said he got Morrissey to do an interview, and that's insane. Yeah, Morrissey does do interviews, and he actually would talk to Larry King. Like I said, Larry King probably. In the last, even just the last 30 years, I remember Larry King from the 80s when he had a show on CNN, or not 80s, it was 90s, whatever. He had this show on a CNN every night, and he just brought whoever he wanted to bring on. But he had so much gravitas that people would do interviews with him that probably wouldn't do interviews with anybody else. And so the fact that he got Morrissey to do an interview, the interview with the Dalai Lama was really interesting too. Although the Dalai Lama kind of has done more interviews later in life, but at the time, getting the Dalai Lama in for an interview is just, that's amazing, Also, thank you, Chicago Mike, who said we lost Larry King and Hank Aaron in the same week. Yeah, man. Hammer and Hank. I was watching that Braves game in, I think it's 75 when he hit 715. That was the biggest thing happening in the world at the time, because everything else around the time was Gerald Ford was president, they got just Nixon, whatever, and that was that feel good story that we just didn't get to have. So yeah, rest in peace, Hank Aaron also. All right, so the story I'm showing right now is Nancy Pelosi says Donald Trump could be an accessory to murder for inciting the Capitol mega mob in final parting shot.
Oh God!
And as a stain on our country. So now she's pushing. Oh, by the way, good morning, Bim Jim. Good morning, Sheograph. and Jonas Pedersen. I didn't say hi to you yet. Yeah, so now, and I'm, here it is. Speaker Nancy Pelosi said President Donald Trump could be accessory to murder for his role in inciting the MAGA mob that rioted on Capitol Hill and resulted in 5 deaths, including a U.S. Capitol police officer. The president's words are important. They weigh a ton. And if you're Donald Trump talking to these people, they believe it, and used his words to come here. When we talk about, did any of our colleagues collaborate? Well, that remains to be seen, and we have to get evidence of that. If they did, they would be an accessory to the crime. And the crime in some cases was murder, she told MSNBC.
Oh,
so
okay. So if that's the case right there, what about Ayanna Pressley, Nancy Pelosi herself, Maxine Waters, Rashida Tlaib, all them, who incited all this craziness that Antifa and BLM been doing for the past 4 years?
And Bernie Sanders, accessory to attempted murder. So here's the thing, it's almost like, now my impression, or I think it's a fact, that a great number of the people who are in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, aren't most of them lawyers?
They don't act like it.
A whole bunch of them are lawyers, right? FTB, yes, gun
yeah.
There are a bunch of lawyers for the most part. Most of them have law degrees. And so first of all, they should understand the definition of incitement and how it works in our law. And the fact that there's a Supreme Court case precedent, 9-0 precedent about the incitement, there's nothing that Donald Trump said in that speech that could be listed as incitement. And in fact, there's the opposite of incitement when he said to go and peacefully protest, cheer on the Congress people, Congress critters, whatever, who, were doing the right thing. And the fact that the breach happened. Oh, is there some noise back? You got someone in the background there?
My kids just.
Oh no, that's okay. That's fine. I thought, was I hearing things or what? Okay. The fact that the first people who were breaking into the Capitol building were there before Donald Trump's speech was even over. So I don't know. Yeah. Chicago Mike with this, you'll hear the music coming up. Thank you for the $4.99 in through Super Chat. It says, remember that speech where Trump said, storm the Capitol and kill people? Wait a minute. He never said that. Oh, no, he never said that. So
that's why I say, like, people like Nancy Pelosi, they just set themselves up to be, like, contradicted. And it's so easy to contradict them on everything. And they basically say right here, oh, Donald Trump should be held responsible for what happened right there. But yet you can find that same example when they did the exact same thing, but they're just like, no.
I mean, how many people have died over the summer since the date that St. George, God rest his soul, fell to the knee of a police officer from Minneapolis? I mean, what? I mean, how many cops have been murdered? How many people died in the riots? That little girl that's sitting
Black
in the back.
And white.
Yeah, the little girl who got shot in Atlanta outside that Wendy's because they pulled into the wrong parking lot. I mean, but no, they're I don't know. They're myopic. They want to get Trump. It's all about hating Trump. And even this impeachment nonsense, it's like the words that they used in that articles of impeachment were exactly inciting an insurrection. Wait a minute, incitement has a meaning, and it doesn't fit the law. You would have to be convicted of incitement first of all, but they're going to convict him of incitement when incitement is a very specific word. And so, I don't know, it's just crazy. What's this say? I found out P-Dawg threw hard bastard but had to stop because of extreme anxiety from the news videos. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so other things also in fascism today, House leader calls for FBI investigation into Parler. Oh. On Thursday, the House Oversight Committee called for an FBI investigation into Parler's involvement in the deadly attack on Capitol Hill this month. Oh, real quick. Ex-Bubba Hotep's in the house. And thank you for the donations via Streamlabs. Ex-Bubba Hotep, who says, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Trump that said, if you see them, gather people, get in their faces, make sure that they aren't welcome. Maybe I'm misremembering. No, I think that was somebody else, Ex-Bubba Hotep. Oh, wasn't that Maxine Waters? Get in their face? Yeah. And they've been doing that. People have been doing exactly what she told them to do. That might be the definition of incitement. She told him something specific to do. Donald Trump said, just go up to the Capitol and be peaceful. Oh, wait, he did say fight for what you believe in. Real quick. Another one. Thank you, James Colley, with the 10 spot on through Streamlabs, who says, say what you want about Nancy. Look at her chest area. She has some nice chesticles.
Oh, God.
Also, I will bet she gives nice mouth hugs. James?
Yeah, when she takes out them 4 feet, bro.
Don't want to hear that.
He is on one.
Look, she's 80-something years old, okay? She has what would I call it? She has very supportive undergarments. Let's put it that way. She was actually a nice looking lady when she was younger, though. She's, for her age, she looks pretty good, right? But I think she's a fucking moron. But obviously she's not. She has to be smart to be where she's at. But anyway, back to this Parler thing. Thank you again, James Colley, and everyone who's doing donations. I really appreciate it, and so does the crowd. Yes, they're going wild. Anyway, so they wanted an FBI investigation into Parler's involvement in the deadly attack on Capitol. This is just a full court press on alternative media. Good morning, Chrome, by the way, and Bim Jim, if I didn't say hi yet. So in a letter sent to FBI Director Christopher Wray, House Oversight Committee Chair Carolyn Maloney from New York called for the Bureau to conduct a robust examination of the role that social media site Parler played in the January 6th pro-Trump assault on the Capitol. Maloney said that the committee intends to open its own investigation and requested a meeting with the FBI officials regarding the status and scope of any future investigation into the social media platform. Now, say what you're going to say, Pat.
That's right there. Witch hunt.
Witch hunt, not only a witch hunt, but as you may have heard, and I've heard this several times, so of the people that they've arrested and searched for on for during the Capitol riots, like the 130, 140 people they've already identified. Did you know that not a single one of them had a Parler account?
Not surprised.
Not a single one. And in fact, what they have found out is that most of the actual organizing of the event, or of things that were happening, and not necessarily the riot part, but almost all of the organizing for those events were done on, I already got an answer in the chat. Ex-Bubba Hotep's got it right. On Facebook. All of it happened on Facebook. So now, here's the thing. Right after this stupid event, right after February 6th, what did the Apple Store and the, what's the one, the counterpart Google Play. Google Play and Apple. Both of them removed Parler from their app stores.
Yeah, that was mainly because of the influx of conservatives basically coming over there.
And Amazon shuts down Parler, right? But all, and I mean all, of the organizing was done on Facebook. And most of the chatter about the events were on Twitter. Did either of those app stores drop Facebook or Twitter? They should, for consistency, they should drop both of those apps, as far as I'm concerned. So FTG to Carolyn Maloney and all these motherfuckers. I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. Real quick, James Colley through a super chat who says, what? It's okay for Granny to hug, but no one wants Grandma to give mouth hugs. Dude. Here's the problem, James. You see when Nancy Pelosi is at the podium and when she is talking, she cannot control her dentures. So I don't want a mouth hug from anyone who can't control their dentures. Know what I'm saying? You feel me? By the way, I think I saw, is Hey Larry in the chat? Oh, let's real quick. I thought I saw Hey Larry in here. Hey Larry, if you're here, or is it? Did I see? I'm seeing Hey Larry's avatar, but I don't see Hey Larry. Robert Chalk, how you doing? Good morning. And I think I've got everybody. RV, I got you. Anna Lynn, how you doing? Good morning. And I think okay, that's everybody. I'm sorry. I don't want mouth hugs anywhere near anything important while I am, what did I do there? While I am with someone who can't control their dentures. She can't control her dentures. That thing's sliding around, moving, and while she talks, that's why she looks like this all the time. Because her dentures are always sliding around. She have to move her mouth around. No. No. All right, let's move on. Did you hear? Twitter is being sued. Did you hear about that? Well, it's been sued on lots of counts, but this one in particular, I found fascinating and scary. Apparently, Twitter is being sued because they didn't remove child porn from their site. Twitter refused to move child porn because it didn't violate policies, according to the lawsuit. Twitter refused to take down, this is from the New York Post, Twitter refused to take down widely shared pornographic images and videos of teenage sex trafficking of a teenage sex trafficking victim because an investigation didn't find a violation of the company's policies, a scathing lawsuit alleges. The federal suit filed on Wednesday by the victim and his mother in the Northern District of California alleges Twitter made money off the clips, which showed a 13-year-old engaged in sex acts and are a form of child sexual abuse material or child porn, the suit states. The teen, who is now 17 and lives in Florida, is identified only as John Doe and was between 13 and 14 years old with sex traffickers posing as a 16-year-old female classmate, started chatting with him on Snapchat, the suit alleges. Doe and the traffickers allegedly exchanged nude photos before the conversation turned to blackmail. If the teen didn't share more sexually graphic photos and videos, the explicit material he'd already sent would be shared with his parents, coach, pastor, etc., the suit states. And for whatever reason, let's see, I'm going to get to the Twitter part of this article. So here's what happened with Twitter. While Doe's parents contacted the school and made police reports, he filed a complaint with Twitter saying there were 2 tweets depicting child pornography of himself and they needed to be removed because they were illegal, harmful, and were a violation of the site's policies. A support agent from Twitter followed up and asked for a copy of Doe's ID so they could prove it was him, and after the teen complied, there was no response for a week, the family claims. Around the same time, Doe's mother filed 2 complaints to Twitter reporting the same material, and for a week, she also received no responses, the suit states. Finally, I don't know how far later, it says on January 28th, Twitter replied to Doe and said they wouldn't be taking down the material, which had already racked up over 167,000 views and 2,223 retweets, according to the suit. Quote,
okay, that's kind of creepy.
Listen to this quote. Here's what their reply was. Thanks for reaching out. We've reviewed the content and didn't find a violation of our policies, so no action will be taken at this time. The response reads, according to the lawsuit, if you believe there's a potential copyright infringement, please start a new report. If the content is hosted on a third-party website, you'll need to contact that website's support team to report it. Your safety is the most important thing, and if you believe you are in danger, we encourage you to contact your local authorities.
Way to go, Jack. Oh, dear God.
So they got his ID or whatever. They have the pictures on Twitter. They did not find a violation, quote, of our policies. What the fuck?
Yeah, the fact that they got his ID now, along with these pictures right here, is really even more scary.
So, wait, underage sexual content is not a violation of their policy? How quickly did they they will knock somebody off of Twitter for having a mean tweet or saying retard.
Yeah.
But underage child sexual content is not a violation of their policy. You say the wrong thing and you're yeeted from Twitter for a week.
Say retard, cunt, or pedo, you gone.
Right. For saying pedo, you're gone, but for actual pedo shit, they won't kick you off. What the hell? By the way, if you're just getting here, my friend, your boy Pat, is the guest here, and check out his YouTube channels, your boy Pat Live, and Psycho Rick. Just FYI. All right, let's go. Let's move on. I have more. What's this one? Oh yeah, this is interesting. So, do you know who Glenn Greenwald is? Glenn Greenwald.
The name isn't popping up.
Okay, well he's a journalist who he's a left-wing journalist, but he's a good journalist where he questions his own side, and he founded an outfit called The Intercept, and for whatever reason, The Intercept kicked him off of his own magazine because he has a tendency to question things that are stupid no matter which side they're coming from. Well, and so he has a question about January 20th, and this is the question. Where was the National White Power Uprising on Inauguration Day that the leftist military complex panicked people into fearing? Good question, right? Where was it? What happened? I mean, they had 20,000 troops out there, right? So this is an article from the Ace of Spades. So there's a lot of editorializing in it, but I'm going to read it anyway. Washington, D.C. was surrounded by barbed wire and armed troop transport vehicles. It was flooded with more soldiers than are currently present in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. We were told this was necessary because Trump had incited an insurrection that required the most serious national security response in American history. Much more serious threat than we faced after 9/11. So what happened to all that? Wait. Let me guess. It was more panic porn from the ruling class and its various courtiers in shill media, right? So then they have so here's the tweet, because even Paul Krugman, you know Paul Krugman he's from the New York Times. Even Paul Krugman noticed this. Because he tweeted, "So what happened to the insurrection? Maybe I'm jinxing it, but the wave of violence many expected didn't materialize before or on Inauguration Day. There were hardly any demonstrators. Where did all the rage go?" And now he was being cynical and sarcastic because, let's see, did I here I can pop this open here. If you go what he's now, here's Krugman. Krugman's a leftist Democratic Party shill. It'll take a second for it to pop up. His point here was, or he tried to make a point by saying, best guess, while it's cliche to say that most bullies are also cowards, it's also true the Stop the Steal mobs thought they had impunity thanks to Trump. Once it started to sink in that rioters would face serious consequences and Trump was on the way out, big contrast to BLM demonstrations. Listen, okay, and he says it's a big contrast to BLM demonstrations, which persisted despite far more police violence than the Trumpists ever faced. I tend to recall that the demonstrators, not the rioters of BLM, but I recall the actual just demonstration parts because I even was at one of them in Minneapolis just to check it out. I remember the police standing back and letting things flow, and actually lots of police officers kneeling with the people protesting. I saw all kinds of deference to those things, and then when it got out of hand at night, I heard a lot of mayors telling people to stand down. So I'm not sure what the fuck Paul Krugman is talking about, but I digress. Anyway, back to this. So Glenn Greenwald says, "Oh gosh, I hope this doesn't mean the magnitude of the threat has been wildly exaggerated for political gain, media excitement, ratings, censorship, orgies, and laying the foundation for a new fear-driven domestic war on terror to control politics and information."
No.
And he says, "Hey dude, where's my insurrection?" So here's from his column real quick. I'll just read this. The last 2 weeks has ushered in a wave of new domestic police powers and rhetoric in the name of fighting terrorism that are carbon copies of many of the worst excesses of the first war on terror that began nearly 20 years ago. This trend shows no signs of receding as we move farther from the January 6th Capitol riot. The opposite is true. It is intensifying. We have witnessed an orgy of censorship from Silicon Valley monopolies with calls for far more aggressive speech policing. A visibly militarized Washington, D.C., featuring non-ironically named green zone vows from the incoming president and his key allies for new anti-domestic terrorism bill, and frequent accusations of sedition, treason, and terrorism against members of Congress and its citizens. This is all driven by a radical expansion of the meaning of incitement to violence. It is accompanied by viral on social media pleas that one work with the FBI to turn in one's fellow citizens, see something, say something, and demands for a new system of domestic surveillance. Underlying all of this are immediate insinuations that anyone questioning any of this must be, by virtue of these doubts, harbor sympathy for the terrorists and their neo-Nazi white supremacist
You're fucking a white man!
Ideology. Liberals have spent so many years now in a tight alliance with neocons and the CIA that they are making the 2002 version of John Ashcroft look like the president of the old school ACLU. The more honest proponents of this new domestic war on terror are explicitly admitting that they want to model they want to model it on the first ones. Oh my gosh, who are the fascists? Anyone who, despite all this, still harbors lingering doubts that the Capitol riot is and will be the neoliberal 9/11, or that the new war on terror is being implemented in its name, need only to watch the 2 short video clips below, which will clear their doubts for good. I'm not showing you the clips, but they're in the link, which will be it. This story will be in the tabs when I add the tabs to the description later. But now, did you hear what Rashida Tlaib said, though?
This big nose. I'm trying to be nice.
Well, yeah, but she was actually the voice of reason about this, which I was shocked. So she sent this letter to her fellow Congress critters. Well, here her tweet is, I have her tweet on the screen. I don't have it on your screen, but it says, "I'm leading the call for national security powers to not be expanded in light of the attack on our nation's capital that occurred 2 weeks ago, as such measures often lead to the erosion of American civil liberties." Can you believe that's Rashida Tlaib?
Big Nose Tlaib said that.
Yeah. Hey, broken clock syndrome.
I guess.
And you know who else signed on to that with her? The Squad. I talked about this yesterday. I was dumbfounded. Except, well, that was funny though. So the people who signed along her letter, Jamal Bowman, he's the new guy, Pramila Jayapal, I don't know who Madera Jones is, Ro Khanna, who's the Justice Democrat dude, Barbara Lee, psycho from California, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez signed that. Now, but at the same time, she signs this letter by Rashida Tlaib, but isn't she the same hoe that was talking about re-education camps and shit? Remember? She's been talking about how all these people should be expelled from Congress and they're all traitors and this and that bullshit.
Yeah.
And Ilhan Omar and Ayanna Pressley also signed on to this. Good morning, Dr. Keefe. How you doing?
Is she the make a list one, or is that somebody else?
She's the make a list part. No, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was make a list. Yeah, she's the list one.
I knew it was one of them.
But just amazing that Rashida Tlaib decides to be the voice of reason. Unreal.
She's usually the crazy one.
Oh yeah. So I will give her credit for saying something correct, I guess, Unbelievable. Anyway. Let's see. I only have got a couple more. We'll get here. So you know how they're trying to unperson President Trump in the world, and apparently some financial institutions are joining in. Florida Bank joins other banks in closing Trump's accounts. Does everyone feel satisfied with the outcome of the regime of complete liberty for corporations, diminished liberty for actual human beings? I know what we can do. We can do more favors for large globalist corporations. Somewhere inside every globalist corporation is a young American waiting to come out if we just offer it enough bribes, concessions, and reductions to their own liberty. That's the introduction. So a Florida bank announced Thursday that it has closed down former President Trump's account, joining a growing list of entities that have cut ties with the former president following the deadly January 6th Capitol riot. In his financial disclosures, Trump had stated that he had two money market accounts with Banks United and the Washington Post reports. The account held somewhere between $5.1 million and $25.2 million. We no longer have any depository relationship with him, the bank said Bank United, without giving reasons for its decision to shutter the accounts. Another Florida bank, Professional Bank, last week announced that it would be cutting ties with Trump, saying it would no longer conduct business with the former president or his organizations. Signature Bank in New York and Deutsche Bank have also said they will no longer be conducting future business with Trump.
That's going to come back and bite him.
Well, here's the thing. I thought that banks were in the business of making money, not making political. Now, and unless did he commit any crime that they can, did he commit any financial crime? Did he commit any felony that makes them want to cut ties? Nope, just political pressure. Just because I guarantee if that incitement shit goes to, if ever went to trial, it wouldn't stand a chance. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't. Real quick, thank you, James Colley with the Jackson, soon to be. Who are they talking about putting on the $20 bill? Tubman, Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, Harriet Tubman.
The current Jackson, the future Tubman. But thank you very much, very generous of you. And James Colley,
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day,
who says, "I call bullshit. It's to keep her little Antifa fucktards safe." Oh, I did not even think of that. She's. I hope someone glues her hands together and then gives her crotch critters.
Yeah.
Damn, James, that's cold, man. I didn't even think of that. But you know what? That is probably it, because the only people who rioted on Inauguration Day were who?
We're Antifa.
Yeah. And what's funny is, for the first time, those mayors out there are actually calling them out and talking about tamping down their bullshit.
Which, who's surprised all of a sudden?
Well, because now they can't blame it on Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and did you see? I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but how much shit they were getting for doing that. And actually, Twitter, or was it Twitter or Facebook? One of them closed a whole bunch of Antifa accounts right after that.
It was Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, what the hell took you so long? What took them so long to start shutting down Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
Yeah.
those riots don't benefit Joe Biden.
Yeah, they don't benefit St. Joe, so they gotta go. They gotta calm down. Like, all right, we let y'all have y'all fun, but now we got what we wanted, so y'all need to stop realizing that you can't control lunatics when they've taken over the asylum.
Right. Thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, by the way, with the 5 spot on Streamlabs. Thank you so much. Who said, I'm so tired of hearing the, quote, deadly, end quote, blah, blah, blah. Hotels have had more deadly nights from overdoses alone. Oh, right? But I got to tell you, look, when you're talking about violence from the left or Democrats or, anything, there are hundreds and thousands of incidents over the last 6 months. When they are looking for ways to demonize the right before January 6th, and here, actually, this is a question for the chat. Everyone in the chat, I want you to answer this question. I'll give you about 20 seconds before I see if your answers are right. Name an event that before January 6th that the left or Democrats or anyone demonizing Trump would bring up over and over and over because it's the only event that they could think of. And here we go. Do 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 do. Boom, boom. Okay. Yep. Jay's PFP right on the top. Charlottesville. They'll bring up Charlottesville over and over and over and over. Oh, Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, they really don't talk about it's still Charlottesville. Now they bring up Carl Rittenhouse, but Charlottesville over and over and over. Now, what year was Charlottesville? Was that 2017? I can't remember. Charlottesville.
Yeah, I want to say it was.
So, but here's the thing. There's a reason why they bring up Charlottesville over and over and over. Do you know the reason, Pat?
I can think of some, but I don't know if it's gonna be the one.
tell me, figure out the reason that they always bring up Charlottesville. You're going to think of it. It just takes a second. It'll take you a second to figure out why they bring up Charlottesville over and over and over.
I say because that one person that got hit by that car.
Yeah, Heather Heyer, but you're close. You got the one is part of my answer.
The let's see, all the people with tiki torches that they dub,
No, it's the whole.
It's
the whole weekend. It's a package deal. Here's my answer. It's all they've got.
Basically.
It's the only thing they've got. They bring up. They'll. Here's the thing. They'll bring up what's the guy who killed the kids and the people in the church. That kid. Hello, by the way, good morning, Howard Welsh, Geograth, and anyone else who's joined. Johnny Hellcat. Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live, the very first person to be in my chat. And I greatly appreciate you hearing me back. And also, good morning, Maddie. It's all they have. They have Charlottesville. Mm-hmm. They have, what's the ding-dong that killed the people in the church? He sat with him and then killed them, and they talk about taking him to Burger King. What the fuck's that kid's name?
Dylan Roof.
Dylan Roof. They can think of Dylan Roof. They can think of Charlottesville. Now they have Kyle Rittenhouse, who's going to be acquitted. And now the Capitol Hill riots. They have and they have to bring them up over and over and over because they don't have anything else.
They don't have anything else. We can bring up tons of things.
Since 2016, there have been attacks on people in red hats. There have been burning buildings on college campuses because the wrong speaker came to campus. There have been riots over. Now, granted, there have been riots over bullshit. Dog bites man events, as in authorities with badges pew pew events. But because every one of them is put into the national media, even though the 14,000 killings over the last 2 years of men with lots of melanin by other men with lots of melanin, you don't hear shit about them except for on local news.
Yeah.
It's like there's these, dog bites man events. Because you can remember them because they talk about them over and over and over. How many times have we heard about the girl who got shot in Atlanta, in the parking lot near Wendy's? Does anyone even know her name? No.
I'm saying only we who basically talk like on YouTube, on Twitter, or anything like that. But to those, because it doesn't benefit that narrative, oh no, she's forgotten.
Yeah. But they go back to Charlottesville. Charlottesville was 2017, wasn't it? I swear that I didn't look that up. I was going to.
Even when the Atlanta mayor was calling herself trying to call for unity and things like that, like when the parents were sitting up here talking about, you say Black Lives Matter, but you shot our child. You see how quick she tried to discourage that and then try to talk about Rashad Brooks.
Right. So it's like,
made the woman cry, man, break down after that.
So, yeah, but you know what? Charlottesville. Fucking Charlottesville. Now.
Well, another thing about that whole entire thing that happened right there, like when Sequoia Turner was murdered, of course, that's the time what happened in Seattle when those Antifa people who was blocking the roads got hit by that car and that one girl died.
Oh, right.
They talked about her more than they did Sequoia Turner.
Right, and I don't even think that was like some immigrant just trying to get through and he hit her by accident. It wasn't like, didn't they figure out that wasn't a
You're fucking a white male!
It wasn't one of those that did it. It was some immigrant that tried to get through there and actually just freaking out. It was an accident. But they talked about her, didn't they? They sure did. Or even the guy who got murdered in the middle of the street in Portland. Like the guy just walks up and shoots him. And then remember he killed himself when police got him?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Sequoia Turner, yeah. I don't hear anybody say her name.
No.
You know, they're still talking about Breonna Taylor. And God rest Breonna Taylor's soul if she has one. I don't know. But I'm sorry, she got in crossfire because her damn dumbass boyfriend shot at police officers. And they're still trying to, they're trying to impeach the black Kentucky attorney general for not handling that case when the grand jury didn't press charges. What the hell is he supposed to do about that? And, you know, it's yes, is it sad that she died? Absolutely. But the idea that they just came in shooting at her while she was sleeping in bed is nonsense.
Mm-hmm. But that's the narrative they want to push, and because they know there are idiots out there who are going to believe anything these people say.
But say her name, right? Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
you can't talk to them because it's like, what do? They shut down and they become violently enraged.
Right. So I don't know, man. Anyway, by the way, let me do a quick shill here. Thank you, everyone who's here. The Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please hit the like button right down there somewhere. And then also, if you'd be so kind as to share the stream out, hit the share arrow, click it out, send it out to your favorite social media. You can put it out on Twitter, mine's Gab, and Parler. Oh, wait. Parler's not working yet, but it'll eventually be working again because they're getting new servers in Russia. Oops, Russia. And then finally, those of you who've been so kind to donate to the show, you can do that through Streamlabs in the description down below or the little link in the chat. And we also take Cashapp and Venmo donations too, but however you want to do it. Thank you for those who are able, and those who aren't able, don't sweat it. The show is free. It just helps when people can help. But if you can't help, you can help by sharing the stream or just joining us in the chat and having a good old damn time. So there you go. That's my shill. And then finally, thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, for another 5 spot, who says, yet when sitting politicians got shot at a congressional baseball game, mum is the word. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Steve Scalise, say his name. But Steve Scalise, thankfully, Steve Scalise can still say his own name. Oh, why hasn't Bernie been arrested for that anyway? Incitement? Oh, I'm so wrong. Anyway, all right. I have.
Yeah, I just trip about how you said earlier, like they only got like these certain events that they could basically talk about, but there's like mountains and mountains of evidence, man, out there, both physically where they're basically saying all this stuff right there, taking going on the defense for BLM and Antifa, and it's just like mountains of it that many people are basically talking about, put up out there, and it's like they want to sit up here and talking about Trump may be like he should be arrested for inciting violence for insurrection and all this crazy nonsense right there, when there's tons of evidence of them doing that exact thing right there.
It's very frustrating, I gotta tell you. Because you know what, I still drive down Lake Street in Minneapolis with all the boarded up buildings and the burned down bank and the convenience store that's still burned down. Now they've repaired a lot of stuff, but there's still a lot of boarded up shit down there, still a lot of graffiti. And I think, you know what did you accomplish with all this? What did you actually accomplish? This Minneapolis City Council temporarily thought about defunding the police until the crime rate went up so bad that they're like, oh shit, we can't do that. Oh my God.
Isn't the city council the one that's basically have all that security on the city's dime right now?
Oh yeah, several of the city council members have private police security at their homes, because they were getting,
and the city is paying for it. And
the city was paying for it. I don't know if they still are or not. I don't live in Minneapolis proper. I don't pay attention really a lot to their news, but at the time, yeah, the city was paying for them to have armed security in front of their homes because they were getting death threats. But they're at the same time they were talking about completely defunding the police. Oh, Maniac Man, good morning. I just saw you there. I think you've been here a while though. Welcome back, by the way. Yeah, they were. It was on the city's dime, and there were a lot of people who were like, "Huh? Say what? what the hell? What the hell is that?" Anyway, let's see one more. Oh, here's one for you, Pat, and I'm sure everyone will get a kick out of this. So during the presidency of Donald Trump, the Washington Post, which apparently was part of the resist movement or the opposition or not my president movement. But anyway, they spent their entire 4 years of the Trump presidency basically being anti-Trump. You know that little project they had, the Washington Post fact checkers that tracked the false claims of Donald Trump for the entire presidency? You know that? Well, I guess the Washington Post has decided to end the fact checker project. Washington Post fact checkers and Trump false claims project, no plans to start one for Biden, which is funny because he's had several doozies so far. The Washington Post ended its false claims project for the President Donald Trump on Wednesday and has no current plans to start a new database for President Joe Biden. The paper told the Daily Caller because Joe Biden can do no wrong.
Why don't these people just get "We are hypocrites" tattooed on their forehead?
Throughout Trump's 4 years as president, the Post fact checkers said that he made 30,573 false or misleading claims. And remember, many of these would, these claims that they included would need fact checkers themselves anyway. This number was revealed shortly after Biden became the 46th president. Glenn Kessler, editor, chief fact checker for the Post fact checking team, tweeted that he never would have believed that number was possible when they started 4 years ago. Well, they just haven't been listening to politicians enough because they're all full of shit. But anyway, yeah, they're going to end that project. Oh, I'm so sad because I think it could have been very good for Joe Biden to see how much they're going to what do I call it? The tongue bath of the taint. They're gonna continue that for 4 years. Although there has been some things that have come up that seem to be a problem for Joe Biden. I'm gonna put one on the screen right now. So apparently, let's put this on the screen. Let me see if I can put this on this, if I can share this with you too. I don't know why I couldn't before, but let's try it. Let's see if it works. Okay, there we go. There. You can see that, right? Pat, you still there? Hello?
Oh, I'm right here. My thing's on mute. Got it.
Oh, no, I just want to make sure. You can see that now, right?
I see where. Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So here's someone named Drew Holden said, Joe Biden promises better. We were told over and over again in no uncertain terms that the Biden team was going to turn the coronavirus pandemic around. And here's what he's said in the past. Hopefully this is back on the October 15th, 2020. Joe Biden said, we are 8 months into this pandemic and Donald Trump still doesn't have a plan to get this virus under control. I do. That's Joe Biden in October saying he doesn't have a plan to get the virus under control. I do. Oh, I didn't send that over here. Then everybody else can see it. Well, we have a little problem now. Now Joe Biden says there is nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months. What happened to your plan, Joe? What happened to your plan? Thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, real quick.
I just said that in order to win.
And he has a whole thread of Joe Biden saying this over and over. Real quick, thanks, ex-Bubba Hotep with the 5 spot, the Lincoln, who says, sorry for the graphic. Okay, sorry for the graphic detail. They can't fact check right now because their mouth is working the shaft, their right hand is working the balls, and the left hand is working the prostate. Thank you, X Bubba Hotep, for that visual. In fact, I think the crowd actually kind of likes that, even though it makes you think of things that I really never want to think about again. But thank you, X Bubba Hotep, and I appreciate the donation. Fantastic.
Yeah. Because from day one, man, I mean, the media blowjobs have just been crazy.
Oh, it's been insane. And so, Drew, here's the whole thread of these, though. So here, Joe Biden, what's the date of this one? This is on, January 14th. We need to tackle the public health and economic crisis we're facing head on. That is why today I'm announcing my American Rescue Plan. Together, we'll change the course of the pandemic, build a bridge towards economic recovery, invest in racial justice. Wait a minute. There is nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months. But wait, there's more. President Trump's, this is on October 31st, President Trump still has no plan to address COVID-19. I'm sorry, I think we're having vaccinations go on right now. He quit on you and your family, on America. He just wants to grow numb to the horrors of the death toll and the pain. We cannot afford another 4 years of his failed leadership. But wait, no plan. No way to change the trajectory. I thought you had a plan, Joe. Oh, but there's more. If I'm elected president, I won't waste a minute getting this virus under control. Here's how we'll do it. On JoeBiden.com.
Yeah, he won't waste a minute. He'll waste months.
He had a plan on JoeBiden.com, but we can't change the direction of the pandemic trajectory. Oh, no. Wait a minute. There's more. We have no time to waste when it comes to getting this virus under control and building our economy back better. By the way, so Lady Boomer, my wife, Lady Boomer, she doesn't really watch the news because she just kind of waits till I tell her because it just makes her sick to her stomach, basically. And I was telling her about all these times that Joe Virus. Should we change his name to Joe Virus?
That's good.
Every time Joe Virus would say that we're going to get the virus under control. Now, Lady Boomer is an RN, and she's like, get the virus under control. What the fuck is he talking about? You can't control a virus. Because a lot of times I talk to people on chat with people on Twitter or get into arguments with people on Twitter, and they're like, "Yeah, Donald Trump is directly responsible for 400,000 deaths." I'm like, how is he? It's a fucking virus that's killing people all over the world at about the same rate in every country. So how the hell is it Donald Trump's fault? Well, yesterday, now the very first act. Now let's just think of the symbolism of this, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people on Black Twitter or Black people or ADOS and all those people want to credit Black women or Black people for getting Joe Biden elected, right? You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
You hear that all the time, right? And so. Now, a couple things have happened in these first few days of the new presidency. One, very symbolic, and it's a very symbolic thing. Do you know who the very first person Joe Biden fired in his administration?
Yeah, that black dude.
Black man. Very first person. Black people, the very first, the Surgeon General. Very first person, he fired a black man right off the bat, right? Yep. And then Joe Biden, Joe Lunchbox, Mr. Amtrak, Mr. Union, the favorite of the unions and whatever. In the first 2 days, with a few signings of a pen, Joe Biden killed like 50,000 union jobs between the Dakota Access and between some of the fracking contracts and all that. Killed 50,000 union jobs. Yeah, there. JMPFP says the big backfire is coming. 50,000 union jobs. It's just ironic. And I said that to somebody yesterday on Twitter, and she said, "Oh, you mean the Surgeon General? You mean the Surgeon General that killed 400,000 people?" And I thought to myself, how? First of all, everyone says Donald Trump killed 400,000 people, but now because it's the Surgeon General killed 400,000 people, motherfucker, no, the virus killed 400,000 people at the same rate as pretty much every Western country in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a virus. Now, did our Surgeon General kill all those people in Spain, France, Italy, Belgium, UK, Germany, all those other countries? Did our Surgeon General do that? Because they were all at about the same rate, and many of those countries at a higher rate. So who are you blaming in those countries? Is it our Surgeon General? Is it Trump? Because the virus killed people all over the world. Peru, Chile, a lot of people, those are high rates too.
Mm-hmm.
But no, our Surgeon General was fired because he killed 400,000 people. Oh, that makes sense.
Some of these people are so blissfully ignorant. It's just,
it's just infuriating. Anyway, all right. Let me go back here real quick. Let's pop the screen off here. Oh wait, hang on. I forget. I'm gonna unshare. There, move that. Stop screen. There you are. All right. Let's see. I had a couple other things here in my book. But this thread though. In fact, I'm gonna put that in the tabs so people can see it. I mean, he goes on and on, over and over and over, how many times Biden has said that Joe Biden was gonna get the virus under control. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's a virus, dude. Until you have a vaccine, or it doesn't matter what you do, and especially this particular virus. 70% of the people who've gotten COVID-19 were avid mask wearers. Do you know that? It's like, so the masks aren't helping. Whatever. Thank you, X Baba Hotep, with another 5 spot on the Streamlabs, and I believe. Oh yeah, X Baba Hotep.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Who says, I still want to see the death rate for 2020 compared to other years. Well, there have been some studies, I think, that are hiding that we really don't have a lot of what they call excess deaths. Like you would expect that if this pandemic were the cause of, unexpected deaths, that you'd have excess deaths, meaning more than an average year. And I don't. I am waiting to see the final numbers for 2020. But as they were saying, that there's not a lot of excess deaths. I don't know. Have you heard anything about that, Pat?
Yeah, I've been hearing a little bit, but it's like with the way they've been pushing things right now, it's kind of hard to know what to believe.
That's a great point. It's hard to know what to believe anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know. So yesterday on my show, we were talking about how Joe Biden was, his new goal is to get 100 million vaccinations in 100 days, which would be 1 million a day. And I showed this graphic. Let me put it back on this screen here real quick, so you can see it. There we go. Apparently so that would be 1 million vaccinations a day, right?
Yep.
Well, over the last 3 days, with no plan, the complete failure of the Trump administration, yesterday they did over the last 3 days, 1.4 million injections a day. Over the last week, 983,000, and it's been ramping up and up. Yesterday, $1.6 million. or not 1.6 million injections. So here's this. I just thought this was important. So caveats abound. But the last 3 days, the U.S. is averaging 1.4 million injections a day. Over the past week, we averaged 983,000 a day, which more and more makes Biden's 100 million 100-day pledge look like a joke. The U.S. still trails the U.K. in vaccinations administered, but if we keep this rate up, we will catch up to them in a month or so. Israel is still the gold standard. They have vaccinated 7% of their public. Double that, and they will have clear herd immunity. The U.K. and U.S. are kicking the crap out of every other country in the Western world. Europe in toto, including Germany, France, Spain, and Italy, Switzerland, and Canada. The U.S. and the U.K. are far running circles around the rest. And then someone said, well, he made that pledge a month ago and it looked ambitious, so well done with this bad faith argument. No, it doesn't matter when he made the pledge. He said that the United States was a dismal failure. And obviously, when you're starting a program where you are where you're trying to, you're not going to have your maximum the first week you're doing the damn vaccinations. It grows and they get more, just like with when they were talking about, well, we don't have enough testing. Well, the testing just started. The testing will grow as we get more tests out and are able to ramp up the production of what you need to do the testing, and also venues where you can do the testing. So now I heard that because remember, I don't know if you saw this the other day, where Amazon decided that they were going to join the effort, which actually they've already been in the effort, but they made this big announcement to Joe Biden that we're ready to help when you need us. Well, now Walmart too, a lot of, I was laughing because Joe Biden's talking about, well, we need to build, these special testing centers or these special vaccination centers, right? Mm-hmm. Why? I can get a vaccination at the grocery store. I can get a vaccination at Walgreens. I can get a vaccination at CVS. There's so many places that already do vaccinations for flu. If you just get them the materials, you already have vaccination centers. They're all over the place. So now Walmart too, and I know Walmart pharmacies also do them. So it's like, as long as you keep the production of the vaccine and materials to do the vaccinations, there's already a plan for that. All you got to do is piggyback on the plan that is already there. So, I don't know, stupid people.
But you know Joe has trouble remembering all this stuff.
Oh, I know. Hold my James Colley, who says, "Oh, thanks James Colley for the Tubman." Who says, "Hold my dear daddy's back on top." James, I can't track YouTube super chats. That is so generous of you, and I'm so kind, but only the YouTube super chats of the day show up on the super chats of the day, or superstar of the day, or not YouTube, the Streamlabs. Yeah, the Streamlabs. And I do that because Streamlabs doesn't take nearly as much of your money away from the donee. But James, I am so appreciative of you for doing that. I mean, well, let me know if you want it back. I'll fix that if I can. All right, and then also, good morning. This is Kyle who says, "Hello, chat people and P-Dawg. Happy anniversary." Thank you. This is Kyle. Kyle is also a very loyal watcher of the show, so thank you. Appreciate it. Although everyone in the chat today pretty much is. All of you guys are the regulars and the people who make me happy to continue doing this. So I really appreciate it. What's that?
I said Scribe in the chat.
Oh, Scribe's here? I didn't see Scribe. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Scribe, I think I sent you a link if you want to jump in too. Just FYI. Thank you. Oh, there you see it. Scribe, Cardaz P-Dawg. Well, thank you, Scribe. I appreciate that. Let me turn this thing off. Oh my God. Oh my God. So the dancing Korean girl is the notice that the biggest donation of the day is new, and ex-Bubba Hotep went wild. Brother, my goodness. That is so incredibly generous on this second anniversary of the show. Ex-Bubba Hotep, you are the new Streamlabs superstar with the I don't even know who's on that bill because I never have them in my pockets. with a 50 just so there's no dispute. Damn, dude. That is so generous of you. Amazing. LOL, there's your drinking money for the night, Marty. Yeah, and actually there are bars open in Minnesota again. They just reopened restaurants and bars in Minnesota. That is that's amazing. I'm a little verklempt right now.
I heard they started doing that in certain places, like like that, and like in Chicago, I think.
Oh yeah, well no, a lot of places. Some places they were never closed. My buddy lives in Dallas area, and they can go to bars. And we have this. He's one of my college friends, and we have this text thread that's about 15 of us in one thread, and so it's constantly going with sports talk and shit like that. But he always sends pictures of him in the bar drinking a beer because a couple guys in California can't even leave their houses. But did I send Scribe? Oh, there's Scribe. Okay, there you go. Scribe, what's happening?
Hey, P-Dawg. Twitter didn't tell me that you'd sent me a DM. There was no notification, so I didn't know. I apologize for that.
Oh, really?
Hey, what's going on, Scribe?
Hey there, Pat. How you doing?
Oh my God.
Good.
Okay. That's the music of the Korean girl dancing. You know what I did that I did that specifically for Jack Cochran.
Of course.
Because she is a fine individual, but James Colley, they're having a donation war, which I appreciate.
Please stop. Oh no, the humanity. Would you please no?
James Colley.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Not only the large donation of the day, but also the Superstar Donor of the Day, James Colley, who says, "Okay, now I win. Damn it, Kyle." There's really no name for that. It's a Grant, a Jackson, and I don't even know who's on. Is it Lincoln on the 5? I don't even know.
Lincoln's on the 5.
Yeah, Lincoln. So the combined Grant, Jackson, and Lincoln.
This is how often we look at paper money anymore.
Unbelievable.
I've forgotten who's on the $5.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, at $5 I knew it was Lincoln. It just took me a minute, but then the Jackson and the Grant added to that is incredible. You guys, I appreciate it, but don't do anything that can damage your own personal life doing this. Because if you want to keep going, I'll just sit here and smile and stuff. But anyway, Scribe, how you doing, my friend?
Oh man, I'm doing okay. I woke up with a headache though, so I've been kind of fighting that all morning. But other than that, I already had to log into work once, which was exciting.
Oh, great! Not too many pepper jacks though.
No, I'm saving that for the TEDx I'll be doing in a couple hours.
Oh, now if you are not subscribed to Scribe, click on his name, click one of those little yellow dots, and open his channel and subscribe, because the TEDx talks are fun. What do you got going today on that?
So today, let me read the official title. Educators must be more than allies.
Oh, for God's sake.
I haven't done a education-focused one in quite a while, and I found this one, and I was like, okay, sure.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, the trend of turning classrooms into community activist organizations with the teachers as their leaders is a very popular, very common, very disturbing trend.
Spelled indoctrination centers?
That too, yeah.
By the way, good morning, Ebony Williams. How are you doing? Nice to see you. And I think there's someone else that I didn't say hi to. Well, I didn't say hi to Scribe, but Scribe's in my ear right now. Okay, ex-Bubba Hotep's upping the ante.
Of course.
With a Benjamin on the happy 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And now wait, I gotta figure that out. So that is definitely the dancing girl donation. I just can't tell. Yes, an ex-Bubba Hotep.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
I don't even know what to say to you guys. So incredibly generous, and it's that's some fire on my 2-year anniversry. It's amazing, but yeah, I'm glad you guys are having fun. Again, I just don't jeopardize yourselves for me, but I appreciate. I don't even know what to say. It's so incredibly generous, and if y'all are having fun, hey, have as much fun as you want. I don't know. Anyway, Scribe, what else? So, have you previewed this one at all? Or are you going to do it for scratch like you usually do?
Oh, I never watch them ahead of time.
Okay.
It's a rare day that I even know anything about the speaker before I go into the thing, unless I read something about the caption on the original video.
Right.
But yeah, education, teachers, the things I've been seeing the last several years. For those of you that don't know and might be interested, I have a playlist on my channel called Curriculum of Fear.
Oh yeah.
Where I take a look at various videos or web shows or something else from teachers and educators talking about their theories on how to best serve students or the cause, depending on which one you're looking at. And
well, that's not always the same thing, though.
Well, no, yeah, that's true. Well, in their minds, it is.
In their minds, it is.
Because the world has to be a particular way, and the students need to know how best to be change agents to make the world the kind of place they want to see.
Right.
And if you and the first video I did was like 3 years ago now or something. And if you just watch the progression, I would dare anyone who's paid attention to this at all to randomly select one of my early videos and tell me that it's not the same rhetoric being talked about today, except it's more mainstream.
Okay.
It's not fringe. It's not being kept under wraps. So
but
anyway, that's what I'll be doing today at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. For those interested, I'll be posting it in about 20 minutes or so after I get some stuff done. But yeah, that's my excitement.
Oh shoot, I forgot what to say. Okay, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll come to me. Good morning, a horrible gamer. Good morning, check your logic. And Zach Osborne says, just let it happen.
Sure. Yeah, just take the money, P-Dawg. Don't ask questions, just take the money.
Oh, you know, I got to tell you. Here, I got to do one of these for the Superstar Donors of the Day.
Hey.
Anyway, so so we've been talking about the general. I don't know how long you've been here, Scribe, but we've been talking about kind of the general effatry going on in the world. Apparently, let's see this Daily Caller article. Chuck Schumer, senators will have to decide if Donald John Trump incited an insurrection. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me share the screen because I'm going to play this for you. We'll play this so you can hear it. Let's see, turn audio. There's so many more things, but I'm doing both StreamYards and Streamlabs that I have to do. So I'm just making sure that I get this on the screen for you guys. Here's Chuck Schumer. I don't know what's going on there, but Chuck Schumer said this yesterday. Wait a minute. Oh, is it glitching on me? Too many things going on at the same time. Anyway, Chuck, here, let's try this.
Fair trial, but make no mistake, there will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection against.
Did you catch that? Did you catch?
Yeah, they're going to decide that he didn't because.
No. Wait, you got to listen closely. Listen again. You listen very carefully. What he says. Everyone, listen to what he says very carefully.
Fair trial, but make no mistake, there will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the election.
Oh. Yeah, I was echoing there for a second, so I didn't hear that part.
Whether he incited. Yeah, I'll play the rest.
Insurrection against the United States. Now, over the course of elections in November and January, the American people chose to retire 4 Republican senators and elect a Democratic majority to this Senate.
Yes, sort of.
The Senate must now take the basic step of passing an organized fair trial.
Anyway, so yeah, did Donald John Trump incite an erection?
In somebody, I'm sure.
I'm trying to reconcile what you just said. Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
But anyway, yeah, this is, you know what? I was saying this earlier before you got here, Scribe. Aren't most of the people in Congress, in the House and the Senate, aren't a vast majority of their profession lawyers?
Oftentimes, yeah. But of course, an impeachment is not a criminal proceeding. The problem is that they're using a criminal term as the basis for the charge. And so even though the proceeding itself does not require the same kind of weight or evidence as a criminal trial would, the fact that they're using a very specific term in law means that in order to justify voting to convict, you kind of have to also agree with the definition in law. And the problem is, oops.
Oh, that's okay. That's just you can still talk over that and they can still hear you.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
so
the problem is that now I'm not a lawyer, but I've listened to various legal people who generally rest on both sides of the aisle, and either they say there is no case for incitement based on the facts, or the case is an uphill battle at best.
You're right.
There's a whole bunch of elements that have to be present for incitement by legal precedent to apply here. And there's the time between when he made the speech and the distance to the event. There's the words he used, peaceably, we're going to walk, et cetera, we're going to cheer on, and so on. He never incited a specific action. He never told people to do a specific thing. And there was nothing in there about let's break down the doors or something else. The best they got is the word fight. We have to fight. Except that doesn't apply necessarily to a call to violence necessarily.
Right. And then in fact, in that context, it wasn't fight as in fight humans. It's fight for a specific cause.
Right.
It's such an uphill battle. And the fact that and the article of impeachment specifically says incitement to an insurrection. So if they use that legal term, there's Supreme Court precedent, 9-0 Supreme Court precedent that would throw that right out the door. It would get laughed out of the courts. That's why I've been saying too that I wish someone would try to charge them that criminally, because how fast that would get thrown out of a courthouse.
Yeah.
So,
and of course the other problem is that even if you could make the argument or convince like maybe incitement was there, the political problem is that Trump is still exceedingly popular. Mm-hmm. He's exceedingly popular with the Republican base, and so the likelihood that 17 Republicans are going to defect to the conviction side in the course of the Senate trial to make the 2/3 majority necessary for conviction is pretty much zip.
Right.
There's no upside to it.
If someone, a Trump supporting senator wanted to have an impact on those people, all they would have to do would be to send a picture of Liz Cheney to all of those senators, because they're going after Lynn Cheney in Wyoming big time.
They're already on the verge of demonizing one right now as quick as they can in Ted Cruz.
Well, I'm just talking about how I'm talking about how Liz Cheney is being primaried as a Republican because she voted in the House to send the impeachment articles to the Senate. So the Republicans are. I don't think Liz Cheney has a chance to continue in Congress because even the Wyoming Republicans are not having it. Let me do a couple donations real quick. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for the 2669 and my favorite avatar that pops up during a donation, who says, "Congrats, P-Dawg, saying hi before I see red, thinking about teachers striking and being single with no kids and how much I pay in taxes so they can strike under the guise of COVID that would come from students they take attendance of," or or the lack of COVID that they would take to get from students. Thank you so much, Gamer Fleet. I appreciate that. And also Attack Alpaca. Thank you for the Lincoln, who says, congrats on 2 years. Glad I got to be an audience member for one of those years. YouTubers like the three of you on this show have helped keep me sane over the last year of craziness. So thank you. That is very kind words. Thank you very much. And X Bubba Hotep, who is still the Streamlabs Superstar Donor. Oh, wait. What? Oh, my God. X Bubba Hotep been keeping track somehow. X Bubba Hotep with the 357, which is one of my... that's another one of my favorite avatars that pop up. With that 357 X Bubba Hotep.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Who says, I have to bow down to Jaeger Pony. I cannot overtake them as your all-time donor on Streamlabs. Yeah, Jaeger Pony has been very generous over the last couple of years, and I appreciate all you guys. I mean, it's fantastic. So there you go. Anyway, all right. And thank you. That is very kind of you again, X Bubba Hotep, and all of you who do donations today. It's fantastic. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to show you the first reply to this Chuck Schumer thing about Donald Trump inciting an erection, and so I'm gonna put it on the screen here. Hang on a second. Oops, oh, I removed it. That was wrong. There we go. I'm going to add that back. Here's the first reply. In conclusion, my dick hard. Oh, anyway. All right. Enough playing around. Let's see. What else did I have going on here? Let's see. Oh, that's the whole stream about that. We already did Drew Holden's stream. Yeah.
All right, well, check it out. I got to run real quick, P-Dawg.
Okay. Well,
all right, but it was great. It was great being on the screen with you, and once again, happy 2-year anniversary and many more to you.
Well, thank you so much. Before you go, tell us your channels again so people can, if they're not already, probably a lot of these people are already subscribed, but I still want the ones who don't know about you to know about your channel. So tell us, remind us of your 3 channels.
For those of y'all who are brand new to me, my name is Your Boy Pat. You can check me out on my YouTube channels at Your Boy Pat. Then I also have my live stream channel at Your Boy Live, as well as my other channel where I talk about true crime, like Rest in Peace Memorials, and it's called Psycho Rick and D Wayne. Well, my new character D Wayne, I just dropped on a video about a couple of weeks ago. I'm doing documentaries with him, and my first one was on the Britney Spears. So if you ever get a chance, check those out right there. And once again, P-Dawg, happy 2-year anniversary. Many more. Scribe, good seeing and talking to you again.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Pat. And I really appreciate you. Subscribe to those channels. Great storytelling, and they're fun to watch. So bye, Pat.
All right, take care, yeah.
Bye, man.
Okay.
All right. There we go. Let's go back to there. So anyway, yeah, it was great talking to Pat. And like I said, people, check out his channels there. Especially, I love the Psycho Rick channel. I love the stories he tells. He has a great storytelling voice. So the other, let's see. I had some bookmark stuff. I think I've gone through most of them. Other than, it's funny. President Biden, the economic crisis is only deepening. It's not getting better. Didn't he destroy like 50,000 jobs in the first 3 days? I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm hearing things about how if he goes through with his fracking intentions and his Keystone deal, I mean, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other on that stuff, but if he decides to shut down or revoke the license of the Keystone pipeline, and if he decides to ban fracking, tons and tons and tons of jobs are going to disappear practically overnight.
Tons of union jobs.
Tons of union jobs, blue collar jobs,
yeah.
The Joe from Scranton level jobs. Yeah, it's that and his immigration intentions are the two things that I'm kind of most curious about. Well, that and what he's doing with the military. And I don't mean parking garages. I'm talking about overseas. So.
Right. Well, yeah. It'll be a big tell when this current caravan makes it to the border to see what they do, because the cooperating governments between here and there have been trying to keep them there.
Yeah,
but they're just fighting their way through either way.
I don't know that Biden's going to have much of an option beyond what we're already doing. I mean, you can't, for security purposes, for human trafficking purposes, and a whole bunch of other things, you can't just turn off all of the checks and balances that we have in place. Whether you agree with how Trump ran it or not, there are some things that are just necessary in order to keep some kind of semblance of order.
Right.
So the system's already backed up as it is. If a whole bunch of people show up at the border, you're going to see the exact same thing you were seeing under Trump, is that people waiting outside, some people trying to cut in line by risking the Rio Grande. And in the process of this, regardless, more people are going to die just on the sense of the risk they take with their health and safety to get here in the first place, or to cross the Rio Grande. You're going to see more chaos. The people that are let in, they're going to have to be detained for a certain amount of time while they try to verify their stories or process their paperwork. It doesn't suddenly become easier because Trump was evil. There's a process and there's a system that's just necessary when a stranger shows up to your doorstep and says, "I want in." Mm-hmm. You can't just make it happen. There's proceedings, there's due process, and everybody's out there. We have a system in place for asylum petitioning, and it's not easy. There's a high bar for it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle it, if they handle it any differently. But also, how does the press portray it as compared to Trump if the exact same actions are taken?
And that's the one place where I take exception to what you said just now. You said we're going to see. No, we're not. We're not going to see it. We're not going to see pictures of people who drowned trying to cross the Rio Grande. We're not going to see pictures of people fighting with Border Patrol people at the border. We're not going to see the part I don't think that's going to happen. I think Joe Biden's going to change the policy of making people wait on the other side while their cases are being adjudicated. Mm-hmm. I think that'll change, but we're not going to see it at all because the media is going to hide it as much as they can. There might be some right-wing media that goes down there and says, "Oh, well, what's the difference about one of these things is just like the other." Mm-hmm. But as far as the mainstream press showing it to us, I don't think we're going to see it at all. They're going to hide it, and they're going to hide it as much as they can. And you did say that at the end, how the press deals with it. Real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you're not wrong. It'll be stunted or blunted, probably. But someone will be covering it somewhere, somehow. And so, like I say, my curiosity will be to see, do they do anything that's drastically different from what Trump was doing or from what Obama was doing? The activists, I don't know. I mean, we saw in Portland, they were attacking Democratic Party headquarters and ICE at the same time.
Right.
So the idea that just because Biden's in place, the people who are most fervently against the systems and processes that we've had the last 4 years and elsewise will just go away is kind of Zippo. But we'll see.
Right. Real quick, thank you, a horrible gamer who says, with the link in the super chat, aka YouTube, who says states who are blue assisted in the ending of people in care home. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, this is what you have to decipher, because I think that when you use YouTube super chat, you have to use cryptic language, not our cryptic, but cryptic as in the definition. States who are blue assisted in the ending of people in care homes. They do not care what happens to the public.
But, I mean, I guess it depends on state to state. But yeah, it's the hypocrisy of some of the state governments and who they decide to penalize or what decisions they make and then turn around and do the opposite the next day. Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed that Cuomo hasn't faced. Well, I mean, maybe I'm not amazed. The press. You know, I remember when I was much, much younger, right-wing radio was a big thing. You know, Rush Limbaugh back in the early days and all that kind of
Hannity,
stuff.
and
yeah,
what's her face right afterwards?
got to be railing against the liberal media and this, that, and the other. And it always, when I was young, sounded very conspiratorial because it was just, oh, this is just partisan stuff. I wasn't really into politics at that time, but you could really tell the side where the sides were drawn. And now when it's just so obvious and it's just so blatantly sanitized for one side of the argument versus the other, I hear the words coming out of my mouth, which is just like observational reality. The press is being so much more kind to Biden on certain issues than they would ever be to Trump. If Trump put National Guard troops and housed them in a parking garage, you would never hear the end of it. It would be the most unpatriotic thing, disrespecting our troops. How could this treasonous American run our country? All that kind of thing.
Right.
And on this side, well, you saw some outrage, but you don't get the same kind of rhetoric being blasted all over the place or nearly as much. And so I say the words, the media is being da-da-da-da-da, and I sound like a right-wing radio guy from 1992. But the problem is that whereas they might have been hyperbolic, maybe, depending on the situation, I don't know how anybody can look at this stuff and not say that the Democratic Party, at least the left, basically has the mainstream media as their state media. It's really disturbing.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to go back real quick, too, because you mentioned Antifa, and they're attacking both Democrats and Democrats, the Democratic headquarters and ICE. And all of a sudden, look at this. Twitter suspends Antifa accounts with more than 71,000 followers. What?
I mean, I don't disagree with it because they're if you want to talk about organizations inciting action and everything else.
Right. Well, it's
but
no, but I'm laughing because it took them to attacking Democrats after Joe Biden has become president, for them to do that after 7 months of deadly violence, and only after Antifa shouted their disdain towards Joe Biden. When the violence was inspired by their hatred for Donald Trump, Twitter did nothing. That's kind of the thing. And at least let's see, Twitter suspended more than 71,000 followers. At least 4 accounts tied with the militant group have been yanked offline, including the base, whatever names of some different groups. Oh, but the Antifa Sacramento railed against the base's suspension on its own Twitter. Our comrades with the base and Anarchist Social Center in Brooklyn, New York, of 9 years now took this Twitter thing seriously. Reaching a platform of 17,000 followers, they pushed a very specific line where politics were never blurred. Today, Twitter took their account down, and now there's a void, the group tweeted. Well, you know what? Welcome to the world of... I don't think Twitter should have taken them down. But if they're...
short of them actually doing something that was, actual incitement or actual threats or something else. Just like anybody across the spectrum.
Wait. What was that word you used? What was that?
I use several words. I don't know.
Incitement? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, like I don't have a problem with Twitter taking somebody down who or suspending an account who's someone who is actively making directed threats at someone or stalking or harassing. I mean, if people do that, there are people who go beyond the limits of reason. But if you're just spouting a political ideology that isn't inherently making threats or inherently inciting action, or violent action, I should say.
Right.
Then Antifa has every right to be on Twitter as much as, the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I'm not. I mean, if there was evidence that these guys were using Twitter to plot some kind of violent strikes on, okay, that's different.
Yep.
But if it was just you're associated with Antifa or you follow an Antifa account, that's no better than taking down somebody because they follow Donald Trump. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well, or like deleting Parler from your app store.
That too.
Yeah.
Hey, P-Dawg, I'm sorry. I got to split. I got to get stuff ready for the show, and also got some other personal stuff I got to take care of. But hey, congratulations on 2 years. You're 500 episodes before 2 years today. I love the stuff that you do. I'm glad that you have been so successful and helping people out in the morning and keeping them entertained.
All right,
and I hope 2 more years, 6 more years, onward and onward, and everything goes well for you.
Well, thank you so much. You guys were a big inspiration for me to start doing this, and I appreciate you guys too, and enjoy popping in once in a while over there too. So thank you again, Scribe. Thanks for popping in.
No problem.
All right, brother.
And if anybody's interested in weird educational theories, I'll be doing a TED Excellence today on my channel, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, for a TED Excellence. We'll take a look at where educators need to be more than allies. What does that mean? Hopefully it doesn't mean girlfriends, but God knows it could be.
2 o'clock Central.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Central Time. Who cares? Whatever.
All right, my man. Later.
Take care, P-Dawg. Bye, everybody.
All right, bye now. Also, quick, thank you, Ex-Bubba Hotep, with another 357. Did you see the reporting of emails sent to immigration centers to release everyone, even if they don't have a sponsor? I saw that or heard about it earlier today, and they were talking about everyone, not just people without sponsors, but even if they were there with criminal issues and all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have the story in front of me, but I did hear that one too. 3 o'clock Eastern. Yes, it is 3 o'clock Eastern. Humble Clay, how you doing? Make sure to hit the like button. Yeah, if you haven't done that yet, there are, what do we got? We got 40 people here, 37 likes, but some of those are people who were here before, some were later. So yeah, if you haven't done that yet, hit a like button. I see people leaving because Scribe left. I feel sad. Hello, Tyler F. What's up? You made it. Anyway, so thank you again, Ex-Bubba Hotep, for the Streamlabs donation. And let's see here. Donald Trump repeatedly did interviews with Larry over the years, didn't start calling CNN fake news until after King was no longer there. Coincidence? I think not. That's from the Spectacular Wonder, one of the people following me on Twitter. That is interesting. Yeah, if you're just getting here, we talked about Larry King passing. And I talked about Hank Aaron yesterday. Kind of a tough couple days. Hi, Katie. How you doing? Thank you for the congrats. I appreciate you. Hello. Good morning. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure who's here. Ann isn't here. There isn't a void. Those asshats aren't being considered for your education by elected members of the government. Oh. I see what you mean, where you're at. Went back in the chat a little bit. All right. So, wait. F again. What's the F? What? Is the stream stopped for a second? Oh, or just a F? Oh, for Larry King. Yeah, that's a F of respect for Larry King. 87, 88 years old, something like that. And over 50,000 interviews. That just amazes me. 50,000 interviews in his career. And I know he had his own like not syndicated, but like internet show or something as late as this, maybe even last year, 2020. So there you go. Hello, Lindsay, by the way. I don't know if I said hi to you yet. I see you in the chat now. So anyway, all right. So, and I don't have, what is that? Oh, that's just there. Stop the share screen on Streamlabs. All right. Well, now I've been going for 2 hours. Holy smokes. That's not a usual thing, but it's fun having people on every once in a while. Pat and Scribe and the Lords of the Night gang and a lot of those people who've been I've been getting to know over several years, and also who've inspired me a little bit to get into this game, just doing this either the streaming thing or the videos. Just some people I really appreciate, and it's been nice to have him on the show. I see Pat's kind of still in the chat. I know he's got to concentrate some other things while he's watching. So anyway, let's do this. I think I've already gotten through all the articles I was going to do today. Fact checkers, yes. What was this one? Oh, so speaking of what I call the tongue bath of the taint. I know y'all probably can't stand hearing that, but anyway, this is the media's change in style. since January 20th. I just well, you just got to hear it. You just got to hear it.
Inside statuary hall that we're familiar with, you know, from every.
Just how excited some people in the media are that that certain elements are no longer there and certain elements are showing up. And this is fascinating to me, partly because of the characters that they're describing. And I don't mean the fictional characters, I mean the real characters. But listen to John Heilman talk about the people who showed up to the inauguration. Just listen to this. And by the way, if you are a diabetic, I would strongly recommend caution as you listen because, well, you'll understand.
The thing that was, to me, so striking about today was that kind of comforting sense.
Now, I'm just telling you right now, just in those first few words, he's moistening his tongue. He's moistening his tongue. I'm trying to say it with a straight face. He's moistening his tongue because bring on the Tates.
Even with the masks, even with the distancing, even without the crowd, you know, those shots inside Statuary Hall that we're familiar with, you know, from every inauguration, the sight of the Clintons and the Bushes and the Obamas, you know, the Avengers, you know, sort of the Marvel superheroes back up there together, all in one place. Well, with their friend Joe Biden, all of them, I think, feeling like that all of them sharing that same view that a lot of Americans had, which is that, you know, we did narrowly avert catastrophe in America, and that they were all there to kind of, you know, to buttress their buddy Joe Biden and see him in some ways as the natural and necessary corrective to what's been going on. And I think the things, you know, you said soaring a second ago about the speech. I agree. There was a lot about the speech. It was soaring. It may have been the best speech Joe Biden's ever given. It was certainly, I would argue, the most important in the sense that it was not a political speech at all. It was a speech that had a much higher purpose than that. And I don't want to go overboard and compare it to Lincoln's second inaugural, but aspirationally, that's where it wanted to live. But the thing about the speech that struck me most, and I think is most important, the thing that was, to me...
Clean as a whistle.
Your life makes me sad.
Yes, John Heilman, your life makes me sad. Anyway. I can't help it. I just can't help it. There's shivers down the leg. I got a tingle down my leg. Oh, yeah. James PFP. Now, I don't know if NBC had one, but CNN has removed their coronavirus death ticker that they've kept up for the last few months while Donald Trump was still president. They've taken it down, those rat bastards. By the way, let's see. I've got another notification here. Thanks, Tyler F. Thank you, Spectacular Wanderer. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Angel Tibbs. I don't know if Angel Tibbs actually listens to the show or if he lurks, but every once in a while, Angel pops in here. Good morning, Sapphire Dragon. I said hi to Check Your Logic, I think, already, but I'm going to say it again just in case I didn't. I saw you there. And I know Gamer Valino's here. So let's see. Should I do any more? I mean, I've been here 2 hours. Well, Lady Boomer's not a bit. I can go another 20 minutes or so. So anything in the chat you want to talk about? I can obviously pull up more articles. There's always more. And in fact, I will, by the way, my tabs today, in fact, let me change this so you're not, every day in the tabs, or excuse me, in the description, I put a link to the tabs of any of the news stories or tweets or whatever that I've covered. I will be doing that again after the show, like I always do. And then I also add the tab, a link to the show in the Discord server and a link to the tabs as I rub my eye while I'm talking. And those tabs are also in the Discord. So if you ever want to go back and check out the rest of the articles that I read during the show, immediately after the show, I change that link. Sometimes I don't change it before the show, so it'll be the link from the day before because I just cut and paste part of that section so I don't have to retype it every day. But after the show, I change the link so that you can see any of the news stories that we follow. Just by clicking a link, it'll have all of them in one place. Have you taken a look at Matthew Cook's video? Yeah, I did watch that. And it's well written if you are on that side of the perspective, but it's also ridiculous. There's something in my eye. It's bugging me. I gotta stop rubbing my eye. Yeah, I might dedicate an actual video to that, although I don't do a ton of videos anymore, although I'm working on some for my other channel. So by the way, if you and I haven't posted anything yet, but as soon as I start posting again on it's a channel called Marty's Big Journey, where it's just the travels of Marty and Lady Boomer going and seeing cool things. And I'm actually working on the waterfall one first, and then I have one from our 4th of July week, and that mostly for my son and his friends. But so check out that channel sometime. I'll put a link there's a link to that channel in the description down below. I don't have much content on it though. I have just the introduction to the channel, which I did almost 2 years ago, and now I'm finally putting some I'm going to be putting some videos up there because I have tons of footage from about, I think I have, and when I say trips, by the way, it's usually just me and Lady Boomer going to a town that we haven't been to and asking the locals what's cool in this town. So for example, we went to Alexandria, Minnesota, where actually my wife grew up until she was like in junior high. But in that town, there's a giant statue of a Viking. They call him Big Ole, that used to sit in the middle of the road in downtown Alexandria. Now it's on the end of the road. There's also the Runestone Museum in Alexandria, Minnesota. So we went through there, and then we went and drove around a couple lakes and just took some footage. And so those are the kind of videos. Or when we went to Winterset, Iowa, and we went and saw the bridges of Madison County. There's 7 covered bridges, or 6 covered bridges down there. And also that's the home, that's where John Wayne was born. So there's a little, his actual home he was born in. They used to take a tour of that home. And then there's a John Wayne Museum in Winterset, Iowa. So those kind of things. Or just our trip to the North Shore, where we went to find waterfalls. And we went to about 16 or 17 different waterfalls and took video and footage of that. So that's what the Marty's Big Journey channel is about. I will, like I said, I'm just starting to edit some of those videos finally after 2 years of gathering footage. But we usually, we'll do that if we're bored and we have nothing to do on a weekend. We'll drive to some small town and find out what's cool in it and take some footage. And that's what that channel will be about. So if you're interested in travel or just finding things that you'd never seen in a little town you never heard of, that's what that channel is about. Yeah, like how Cindy Rochelle has been living for the last 5 years. That's what so here's the thing. I used to do that on bicycles. So in Iowa, it's a bicycle tour called Ragbri, and it's the Register's annual Great Bicycle Ride across Iowa, where the last week in July every year, about 10,000 people meet in some town along the Missouri River, and over 7 days ride to the Mississippi River, which is the 2 eastern and western borders of Iowa, over 7 days. Now you think that'd be boring, but when 10,000 people do it and they've been doing it for 30 years or so, it's a party. It is absolutely party. Every little town you go through in Iowa sets up like beer gardens and pancake feeds and food venues, and they're selling bananas and fruit along the road. And it's not a race, it's a tour. So you got 10,000 people on bicycles riding, and they change the route every year, so they go through different towns. And these towns just, they set up a spread, and then like you have the overnight towns where either people stay in tents or there's not usually a lot of hotels, so most people stay in tents. But every night there's like a beer garden with a band, and people party at the beer gardens, and you do this for 7 days. It's a hoot. And I started going on that when I was like, did I start when I was in college? Maybe just right after I graduated college. I did that 5 times, but then I thought, wow, you see a lot of cool stuff while you do this. So then I did a couple other cross-state tours that were much smaller in scale. But when you go to little towns, you're like, oh, well, this town's kind of cool. What's in here? And so that's kind of the theme behind Marty's Big Journey, although obviously Lady Boomer and I do it in vehicles and just go to one town maybe for a weekend or even for a day. Like we did one down in Red Wing, Minnesota, where we just drove down there early in the morning, spent the day, took some footage, ended up there's in Red Wing, Minnesota, there's this old building that was a bank back in the 1890s. And so the guy who bought this bank turned it into a bar, and they have the vault is right in the middle of the back bar. And so you can look in there, and it's the actual vault, and it's on the National Registry of Historic Places, but he made a bar out of this old bank. So that was kind of cool. What kind of bikes do you have? Well, not two. Wait, are you talking to someone else? Or are you talking to me? I just ride road bikes. My bike's kind of a hybrid touring, between a hybrid touring and race bike. So it has a kind of a mid-range stance. It's not long like a touring bike, not narrow like a racing bike. But and then I have a rack. But we don't. On those tours, they usually have what they call sag wagons that carry all your gear. Or in Ragbri, we had our own sag wagon because we have about 8 or 9 people that rode together every year, and we had 2 people driving cars with all our gear, and they would. Here's the thing, on Ragbri, your drivers probably had the best job because. We'd be, well, especially if you're not into riding bicycles. My bike is a Bianchi. Anyway, the drivers, or your sag wagon guys, they'd have a specific route for all the sag wagons. The riders, we'd get up like early in the morning. I'd love to get up at sunrise and start riding because it was fun to go out and go into all these towns and grab something to eat and whatever. Also, our group had a theme, first bar on the right, every time we entered a town, we would have a beer in the first bar on the right. But the sag wagon guys, they could sleep in. They would get up, we'd pack all our gear before we left. They could sleep in, so the last tent they put in was theirs. They would get in the car, they would drive to the next town, which usually was only 30, 40 minutes away, and then they would just sit and party in the town the whole night while they're waiting for the guys on the bikes, because probably an hour, because most days average 60 miles a day. But so if you're not into biking, it's still fun to go on those tours because, hey, you get to party with all these crazy people. But anyway. Let's see. I'm looking in here in the chat. St. Augustine is a cool restaurant if you head towards the lighthouse. St. Augustine what? If you want to see something beautiful, search on YouTube Wiki Wachi Underwater Caves. I say watch on YouTube because cave diving down there is very dangerous. Oh, yeah. No, I that. I saw Acadia National Park in Maine 20 years ago, plus Bar Harbor. And holy smokes, the bikes, most of them on the mag drag. People in Harlow. So you're talking motorcycles. Okay. That's the trip that we got canceled this year. So, because my family, my birth mother's side was supposed to have a family reunion in upstate New York because my uncle has a farm there. And so we took 2 weeks off. We were going to, go to the family reunion one weekend. And then we have a friend who has a home in Maine that we were going to go up the coast of Maine and, check out towns along there. And then we were going to go to, what's the town in Vermont? Burlington, Vermont. So we were kind of going to do this circle and then fly back home, but it got canceled because of COVID, because of the coof. And so our family reunion got changed. A nice Bianchi with some fava beans. Yeah, no, my Bianchi, I bought my senior year in high school. Same frame, and in fact, they still have the model that I have, but it is a steel frame Bianchi that I bought my senior year, and I used to ride my bike to school, which was interesting because I didn't go to school at my closest school. I went to school that was in downtown Omaha, so it was probably about a 12-mile ride back and forth every once in a while. I didn't ride it every day, but that same bike, other than changing out components, it's the same frame, and I still have the same seat. I've never changed the seat. I've never changed anything on the frame, or same handlebars, but I've changed out all the brakes a couple times. I've changed out the gears, gone to some index shifting instead of the way they used to do it back then. But same bikes, and I still ride it now and then. And if I ever did go on bike tours again, I would use the same bike. So let's see here. I think we're going to check out the lighthouse. Where is Cindy Michelle? Oh, it's St. Augustine. Okay. You were talking St. Augustine, Florida. Okay. You lived about an hour away when I was in Florida. Okay, cool. That is an impressive investment, all things. Yeah, you know what? I've never, ever. It's a 1981 Bianchi Sport SS. And I have never had any desire to buy another bike. And I've tested bikes. But it is absolutely, it's a 30-year-old bike now, 40-year-old bike now. Wow. But it's still great. The frame still has a little bit of flexibility in it, so it's not hard to ride. Like I said, it has a little bit longer frame than a racing bike, but a little bit shorter than most touring bikes, and it's very comfortable for me, so I love it. Anyway, okay, let's see. What else is going in the chat? Am I boring you yet with the bicycle stuff? I don't know if the people are starting to leave. I understand that, though. Hey, in fact, this would be a good time for me to close up shop. Unless there's anything. Let's see. Is there anything pressing? Let me check. Let me check my favorite source here. See if anything's new on here. And if not, we'll call it a day. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. I forgot. Have you been seeing the Bernie memes? Holy crap, some of these are funny. I'm gonna make a separate link to this. Just a second here. Okay, here we go. Let me click that. The Bernie memes are just funny as hell. From Bernie sitting at the inauguration all bundled up. So here's let's see, let me make this a little bigger so you can see these better. This was Bernie at the inaugural. Let's make that a little bigger there. So this picture was taken at the inauguration. Well, someone photoshopped Bernie from the photo into another setting. I have no idea which one's first, and it was off to the meme races. The internet has been flooded with Bernie memes for the last few days, and people have been sending them to me. This is Weird Dave at the Ace of Spades blog in the ONT fodder. We received over 50. We're not going to post all of them, but here's some of the best ones. So the Bernie memes. Let's see, how long before Pepe assimilates him through resistance kick? Well, because there was a thing. How many of the Bernie memes are going to get Pepe heads? Because remember that mural of Bernie in some city, and someone drew a Pepe head over his mural, and they called it a hate crime. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so here's one of them. This looks pretty good. Bernie with the I can't remember what they called this day, but when the surrender of the German forces, the Axis forces, to the Allies. Oh, I didn't realize Bernie was from Canada. He showed up on the Great White North. Now this one, I don't understand the joke. The guy who stole the podium, he stole Bernie out of the Capitol building. Oh, wait. What about this one? Bernie was in that movie. What was that movie called? Oh, I can't even remember the name of it. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Actually, this should be the, well, I was going to say, I don't know how you would label these though. Democrats, leftists, and Bernie? I don't know. Up. Yeah, the movie Up. That was hilarious. Oh, and he also made an appearance on what's the nerd show? I don't even know the name of the nerd show, but he made an appearance on the nerd show. Leonard, he's in my spot. Not Weekend at Bernie's. That was Up. This one, Big Bang Theory. That's what that's from. Here he is holding his parking spot. Once again, I'm asking you not to park in my spot. Did you know that they found Bernie on the moon? One step for man, one small step for man, one great leap for mankind. And this one, riding the log ride at Big Adventure. Yes, there's Bernie enjoying some fun. Here's Bernie with Ben Roethlisberger giving him some advice on the Super Bowl chances. And they threw a drum set and Bernie decided to. Oh, well, thank you, Bernie, for doing that. Here he is on that famous building of the Empire State Building. He's right over here if you did see him there. That's perfect. Looks like he forgot his lunch. And here he is ransacking Nancy Pelosi's office. Oh, boy. And I am at once asking for a space heater. Okay, that's not a Photoshop, but at least let him know what he's thinking. Now, this is a famous painting, and somehow some great artist from the past knew that there was going to be a Bernie Sanders. He's right there in the middle of the park, looking good. Here we go. Medicare for All, Change My Mind. Oh, the Steven Crowder meme, very apropos. Oh, and here he is on Blue's Clues. Oh, here's the mail. It never fails. Never mind. When it comes to hefty will, mail. Oh, Bernie was at the Last Supper. Oh my gosh, there he is. Okay, I don't exactly get this one with Keanu Reeves, but they both look pretty sad. Oh, and here he is on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Right there. Now that right there, that is an amazing Photoshop. Somebody did some work to do that one. That's pretty wild how good, because you get still has the see how they still have the glass here with its reflection. That's an amazing Photoshop. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Anime adaptation. Joe Biden bummed because, hey, I have mittens too. This one I can't find Bernie in, so I'm not really sure the thing behind it. But anyway, those are the. There are hundreds of them on Twitter. They're very funny. Let's see. Anything else here? I might have to call it a day, guys. This has been amazing, an amazing 2-year anniversary. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Okay, let's see. And here comes Bernie again. I'll go right here. I'll teach you to make fun of me. Logs the entire world out of Facebook. So remember, okay, Ace had a post in Tablet said everything is broken. That's recommended reading. I will read that, in fact. The article rambles on about Silicon Valley's drive to make everything flat, basically all the same without place or purpose, because that's Silicon Valley's ideal. We're no longer rooted in any particular place or culture. Such things are too complicated for Facebook profiles. The real world has been made to conform with the limitations of the fake digital world by removing people's individuality. It has made them flat because Google's algorithm cannot try to sell shit to three-dimensional people. Well, one thing mentioned in that piece is how Silicon Valley has enabled others or groups to quickly transform people's views on things like the trustworthiness of Iran or the biological difference between the sexes. On the latter point, This suggests that the media and everyone else has to be nimble in keeping up with the latest orthodoxy since Pelosi led her colleagues in removing gendered language from the congressional documents so forth. When you're the first female vice president, but you can't claim it since your party doesn't recognize genders. Anyway, Assistant Village Idiot, that's a person, has wrestled through an essay by Rod Drather on reality versus pseudo-reality, which I think relates to the above piece in terms of the speed with which people can come to accept new views of the world. Drather quotes heavily from a piece by James Lindsay. Whatever you think of Drather and Lindsay, I think you should read the piece by Assistant Village Idiot, because I think, in fact, I'll put that one on there too, on the tabs, because I think it's relevant to the current discombobulation of many of the QAnon set, as well as to the increased aggressiveness of the woke. Here's the quote. Because universal compliance is mentioned, I will insert a long-held thought of mine I think is important in this context. We contrast the free market and communism as if they are on all fours, making excuses for the latter because conditions have never been right and the attempts have always been undermined by other forces. But this is precisely the point. Communism only works when it is applied perfectly without corruption, with wise rulers upon a deeply moral population. When do we expect those conditions to occur? I don't OTOH. There's whatever. The free market works even though it is always applied with imperfect means. Some corruption, unexpected events. On the other hand, the free market works even though it's always applied with imperfect means, some corruption, unexpected events, and incompetent implementation, however slowly and partially that works is. So too with wokeness and pseudo-realities of the right like QAnon. They cannot work until everyone is made to comply. So the energy is directed into making people comply rather than providing evidence that the machine actually makes widgets. How can we expect to make widgets when everyone has not yet gotten into line? And then there's article how conservatives get erased. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. So anyway, those two posts will be, let's see, do I have that here? That's Bernie memes. Here it is. So here's the Assistant Village Idiot blog, and then this is also, did I put the other one there? I want to put the Aces reality. Let's see. Let me try this again. From tablet. There it is. All right. So those will be in the tabs today. Very interesting articles. Hey, y'all, let me finish this up because it's time for me to do some other stuff. But I want to thank you guys for being here today. Let me put me back on the screen because I'm roaming around. I want to thank you guys for being here today on this fabulous 2-year anniversary of the Morning Night Live. I hope to be doing this show another 10 years if I can, and even longer if I can. As in, I want to do this as long as I can because it's fun. It's fun to have you guys in the chat. Give me things to talk about. It's fun just bitching about the news here and there, and it's just you guys have made it definitely worthwhile. So thank you to all of you, whether you lurk, whether you watch the show after the fact, whether you watch live, whether you're in the chat, whether you're not in the chat, whether you give donations, whether you don't give donations. This is it's a lot of fun for me, and I hope it's a lot of fun for you. I want to just one more thank you, and I'm going to go because that's what I do. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel.
If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.